All right, first of all, we just want to thank you for taking the time to do this and ask you why you allowed, someone or a group from Central Texas. You could do an interview with anybody in the world, to come up here and be able to talk to you one-on-one.
Well, my roots are in Texas, and you guys there in Waco, with the Baylor Bears and everything. So that's why, I decided to do a one-on-one with you guys. Familiar with you, and I know that you guys are gonna do a great story.
What do you miss the most about being back home in Central Texas?
It's just what I know. Being in Central Texas, I lived there for 13 plus years, since I was 7. So a lot of great memories there. The people, I know the environment, so I feel real comfortable there. So coming up here to D.C., the Virginia area, it's a little bit different, but, I think I've done a good job of adjusting.
How do the fans compare, from Copperas Cove to Baylor and now to Washington?
I've been blessed to have great, fan bases through high school, college, and in the pros. The fans love you. And you love them too because you want them to show up out there and be that home field advantage for you. So it's been eye-opening with the Redskins just because they've got fans everywhere. We've been to road games and had a lot of fans at the road games, and so it definitely makes me feel special that they're showing up not just for myself but for this organization.
People in Copperas Cove wanted to know. I got a chance to kind of ask the viewers that have watched you grow up. Specifically Cove itself, what do you miss the most about that town?
A small town. I was a small town kid, and everybody knows everybody, and just the atmosphere there. Everybody loves everybody. The football, obviously, it's king in Texas. It's definitely king in that town. And I just miss all my friends from high school. You lose touch with a lot of people the older you get, and anytime you can go back and see a few people, the memories start coming back.
As an athlete, what do you feel like you really, learned in Copperas Cove and, under the coach there and with your teammates there that's helped you become such a great NFL player?
You just got to be disciplined in what you do. I saw a lot of my friends that I grew up with that were great athletes, in middle school, junior high, and even early into high school, just go by the wayside because they weren't as dedicated as they should have been to what they were trying to become. So I think I learned that. I learned from a lot of other people's mistakes. To become the guy that I am today, and I definitely wouldn't wish that on anybody that they don't strive to be the greatest or do what they need to do to make it, and so that's definitely a message you can give to a lot of high school kids. There's definitely people out there with a lot more talent than myself that didn't make it, but why did I make it? Just because I was able to hunker in and be disciplined.
What is some more advice you might give? That was one thing a lot of kids wanted to ask you questions. How did you make it from this small town in Central Texas to, one of the most popular players in the NFL right now?
It's not necessarily what you do that gets you to where I've been able to get. It's how you do it and then the mindset that you do it with. So you can go out there and pull tires, run the half gassers like coach tells you to, but if you don't do it wholeheartedly and full speed, then you're not going to get better. So it's about how you do it and the mindset you have towards it. Do you really want to be the best? And if you want to be the best, then you can go out and do it.
Robert, what about Baylor? I follow you on Twitter along with 10 million other people, and you still keep up with them? You still watch their games?
Yeah, I definitely do. My fiance keeps me up to date with all the Baylor scores, and I hope them and wish them the best. Right now they're 4-4, so they got to get to that bowl game. Get 2 wins out of the next 2 games and go on from there. So I definitely look forward to seeing them continue to prosper.
Have you ever felt like there was a moment where you wished you would have stayed that one extra year there? Everybody prayed you would stay.
God has a plan. So it was Nick Florence's time to shine at quarterback, and those coaches, it was their time to show that it wasn't just me. Also with those players, and I know that means a lot to them. So I want them to go out and be successful without me being there because I knew how talented they were. I knew the kind of things they could do, even if I wasn't there. So they're having their time to show that, and I've been proud of them.
You think Nick's doing a good job?
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. He's definitely throwing the ball a lot, for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, and Terrence is definitely tearing it up at receiver, unfortunately, because I was wishing I could get him here. But, it is what it is.
And Robert, a lot of people have asked me this question just because I've had the chance to kind of follow you through this process, since you won the Heisman, and then you get, number 2 in the draft, and you're so popular. People just ask, do you feel like you've changed at all?
I keep people around me that make sure I don't change. Parents definitely brought me up, the best way they could. They kept me humble. I've been dealing with the media since I was 11 years old, and it's prepared me for this. So I'm not ever going to change. People can walk up to me, talk to me. I'm a nice guy, and I do got to learn how to say no more often. But parents keep me grounded, fiance keeps me grounded, and the people around me keep me grounded.
What is it like for you to become this, superstar?
It is a dream come true. I wanted to be the best basketball player of all time when I was 7. I told my dad that, and he brought me out to the basketball court and made me dribble with my left hand for 3 hours, and I went and cried to my mom. And I was really upset about that, but it showed me that it takes dedication and hard work to get to where you want to be. And it is a dream come true, but there's definitely more to it than people realize. It's not just being able to play football and get paid for it. There's a lot of little things that people don't recognize that you have to do.
What about, have you been at home yet and flipped on the TV and seen any of your commercials? And if so, what was that like?
It's awkward. It's awkward to turn on the TV and see your face. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do those kind of things, and whether it's Gatorade or Adidas or anything like that, you're living the dream and you get to see it on TV. So people, can comment about them whether they're good or whether they're bad, but you actually did it. So it is a lot of fun.
You think you're pretty good actor after seeing them?
I mean, I hope I have a future in Hollywood, but right now, Hollywood can wait. I'm trying to make sure that I have a long, lengthy career as a quarterback in the NFL.
How has your faith, I know your family talks about that a lot, how has your faith helped you kind of with this transition that you've had to make to D.C.?
It just makes you believe that everything happens for a reason. I tore my ACL in 2009. I could have went one of two ways. I could have, blamed God and said, why did he do this to me? Or I could, become stronger in my relationship with God. I decided to become stronger. And I came back a better player. So God always has a plan, no matter what it is, whether Baylor's 4-4 or the Redskins are 3-6. He always has a plan to make sure that his people will prosper.
I saw someone on Twitter commenting to you one day that they saw you at church. Do you think that surprises people when you walk into a church in Washington?
Yeah, I think it does. People don't expect a star, I guess, as my caliber to go to church or just to be in public, just because of all the demands that come along with that, pictures, autographs. People get distracted, but the church that I go to has done a good job of making sure that people are focused on what they need to be focused in the church, and that's learning about God.
Is it hard for you to stay grounded? I mean, we've talked about the commercials, but the money that just comes with being a starting quarterback in the NFL, do you feel like that it's hard for you to kind of manage all of that as well and stay the same Robert that you were before you signed your contract?
I don't think it is. It's just my upbringing, the attitude I have towards everything. I appreciate everything, and of course there's some purchases you make and you're like, I would not have made that purchase a few months ago. But you have the ability to do it. You try to stay smart with your money. A good problem to have is high taxes, and trust me, there's a lot of money coming out of the stuff that's coming in, but it's a good problem to have, and you just try to make sure you stay grounded and make it last for a long time, not just a little bit.
Speaking of that, people in Copper's Cove had asked me to ask you if you had any plans, down the road to come back and do anything in your hometown.
I hope I can do some things back in Copper's Cove. I know it's a growing city. Things are definitely getting built up, but hopefully I can work some sponsorships in there with the sports teams, the football, basketball, and any other sport that wants to be sponsored, by Adidas. Hopefully I can do that. And whatever, once I'm retired, be able to go back to the city where I grew up and do anything I can to help it prosper.
And then Baylor fans were asking, are you going to come to any of the games?
I want to come to some of the Baylor games. It's just our schedule really doesn't allow me to get out. We have one bye week, and they're at Oklahoma, so it's this week, and it's unfortunate, but I want to definitely get back to some of those Baylor games.
Your family has all come up here with you. How's that helped you? Your parents are here. Your fiance, as you mentioned, is here. How's that helped you?
Like you said, it keeps you grounded. Parents being around, they've been with me through thick and thin. Their sacrifices are the only reason that I'm here. So I appreciate that, and I wanted to show them that appreciation. So having them around, having them be able to experience everything that I'm getting to experience has been great. And hopefully it's a good reward for all the things that I broke. Back when I was little, I definitely picked up a big a big amount of money of things that I broke, and my mom kept track of it. I don't know how much it was, but hopefully
But you owe her.
I do owe her.
Are you surprised to know that in Waco, in Coppers Cove, on any given Sunday, they're broadcasting the Redskins, which has never happened before in the past? What's that like for you? I mean, in Cowboys country, you're still a star.
I've heard that they are playing the Redskin games, and that's crazy. Being the Dallas Cowboys are right down the street, but you just have to appreciate everything, and I appreciate the fact that I was able to leave my mark at Baylor, and the people at Baylor appreciate what I did, what the seniors that were in my class did to help that program continue to rise up. And it's definitely paying off for us right now with the coverage of the Redskins and other teams around the league.
And what is it like for you? Every other fan that's here, if not more, are wearing your jerseys. Is that surreal for you? I mean, I know you were used to that at Baylor, although they couldn't have your names on.
That
is surreal for you?
I mean, it is surreal, but people here are leaning on me. And, I like to think I have pretty big shoulders. It doesn't bother me at all, whether it's the RG3 chance or just the fact that, they truly believe that I can help this team win. That's what you want. You want the fan base to believe in their quarterback, and it spoils over within the team. The team believes, the fans believe, and now it's just our job to go out and win.
And I know you're tired of this question, but somebody wanted me to ask you, you do have a fiance, any wedding plans?
I'm sure she has wedding plans. It'll happen next year. I haven't been able to set a date or pick a location. I'm sure she has a few in her mind. I'm sure she has it all planned out already. I just have to say yes. And
you got to be there. That's all you got to
Exactly.
do is show up. That really is some good advice. Do you ever plan on making a home in Texas?
I want to. I would love to build my own house from the ground up, but right now I can't focus on those things, and I plan to live in Texas once I'm done. Unless I move somewhere else, like the Bahamas or something. But we'll see what happens.
Somebody in Waco wanted me to ask you what restaurants you miss back home. I mean, any food or anything like that that you crave, that you wish you could have here, but they don't have it?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who moves away from Waco misses VTEX. The other place, I call it Barris. They call it Baris. It's an Italian place. Yeah, it's very delicious. I miss that place as well.
And Robert, is there anything just kind of lastly that you would like to say to, I mean, you have so many fans in Central Texas. When I told them I was coming here, I got contacted like crazy. Anything you want to say to all those people that have supported you way before you were, RG3?
Right. I want to thank everybody that's ever helped me, period. First grade teacher, second grade teacher, those who've pushed me along. Even the ones that doubted, because it gives you that much more drive to go out and not just prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. I definitely miss Texas, miss everybody there, just miss the environment of being in Central Texas, being the hometown kid basically in Waco when Coppers Cove is an hour away. I got a lot of great experiences in the state of Texas. I'll never forget those, and I'll never forget where I came from.